So I am a big fan of AI. I use ChatGPT every day for recipe development, new menu ideas, helping me write emails. I mean, all sorts of things. So I am like totally on the AI bandwagon.
Next time you want to go out to eat, all you got to do is ask E, your personal concierge, and E knows everything about you, from your dietary restrictions to your preferences to where your friends go to eat and what they like to eat, and it will connect you with the most trusted dining experiences no matter where you are.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Duce Raymond Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Ken Clay. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be on here. Thanks, Duce.
Ken, can you give us a little bit of background on why we're talking today? Because, this is actually a new relationship, a new friendship we've developed, and I thought it was super cool what you guys are doing. So just give us a high-level background, kind of explain. I always like to hear like where you came from a little bit, and then what are you guys working on now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was kind of funny how we got connected, right? Through social media and through Kyle, who used to intern for one of my startups, and he just had the great idea, as he always does, of like, I should put you guys together. I think you guys will get along great, knowing what we're building over at Foode.
Now, I did actually realize that
Yes.
Kyle actually worked for you.
Yeah, he was an intern for me for a summer.
Oh man,
We got connected there, and Kyle's awesome. He's always thinking outside the box, and again, I'm glad he did, because that's the reason why we're connected here.
yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited to talk about what we're building over here at Foodie. I think that it has a lot of synergies with everything that you're kind of doing as well and have an interest in, which is why I just kind of jumped all over the opportunity. And as I mentioned before, man, huge fan of your content anyways. So anytime I get a
Thank you.
chance to just chat about that, it's like, yeah, let's hop on. But yeah, Foodie is very simple. We're a social fintech platform designed to take the friction out of the dining journey for the consumer. We do this by giving every single user their own personalized concierge that's powered by our generative AI model, which is really cool. So in short, what that means is next time you want to go out to eat, all you got to do is ask E, your personal concierge, and E knows everything about you, from your dietary restrictions to your preferences to where your friends go to eat and what they like to eat, and it will connect you with the most trusted dining experiences no matter where you are.
That's really cool. So I am a big fan of AI. I use ChatGPT every day for recipe development, new menu ideas, helping me write emails. I mean, all sorts of things. So I am like totally on the AI bandwagon. That's really cool. So what are some of the challenges when you're first developing an app like that? Like how does it go from conception to kind of like ready to launch? And are you guys fully launched, or are you guys in the startup phase still?
Yeah, no. So we are venture backed. So really proud about that. The app goes officially live in the App Store in 6 days here.
Nice.
We've been in beta for about 18 months. We have over 5,500 active users on the beta platform, which was cool. We got another 15,000 wait list. So when we do go live, it's going to be, drinking from a fire hose, but our team has been waiting for this for a while. But you're an entrepreneur, right? So you know, kind of anything starts as kind of just a concept, right? It's a crazy idea of, hey, I've experienced this problem, right? And in our case, it was there's a million tools that are out there that connect you to the best restaurants or the best dining experiences, right? And then you get there and you're like, oh, I hate this place, right? Just because this one person said it's the best, or this one influencer, right, goes on there and says, you have to try this, so on and so forth. And you get there and it's like, wow, this isn't, what I would like at all, right? But the premise really started with people trust people, right? And so giving users the ability to see where their friends and their personal network likes to go out to eat was how we originally started. But because we didn't want to build another social media platform, we quickly realized that in order to truly connect people to trusted dining experiences in a frictionless way, we were going to need a deep tech solution. And that's where the evolution of AI really came as a value prop to what we were building. And so pretty excited about that decision that we made.
So basically, you'll get more information as the app is out longer, and it'll just continually evolve. I'm assuming that as you get more people going out to eat and rating the restaurants or giving feedback, and then that's just going to make the app stronger. Is that how it will work?
Absolutely. And to kind of click down on that a little bit further, this is also the power of AI, which is what's really exciting, is that so we built our own generative AI model, right? So it's our data, we own that, right? But every single time a user creates a profile and interacts with their own version of E, they're actually creating their own concierge, which is cool. So Duce's AI concierge is going to be different than Ken's AI concierge, right? So for example, my E knows that I've got a peanut allergy and a seafood allergy. So when I ask for recommendations, it keeps that in mind, right? And then it gives me recommendations based off of that, and then it tells me what I can and cannot eat off of these menus based off of that, which is pretty cool. And obviously, Deuce is a barbecue lover, right? And so when he goes and asks for E, it's going to keep that in mind and
Sure.
say, oh, by the way, you're in Kansas City. Based off of what you like in Chicago, you're probably going to like this. Would you like for me to make a reservation for you?
Will it go down to the family level too, or know that your kids have dietary restrictions or likes or dislikes and things like that as well?
100%. Yeah, the whole point is that E learns and adapts from you. So if you give it that information, if you include that in the conversation when talking to E, it's going to keep all of that in mind.
Now, on the business side of things, as my mind is, it's half chef, restaurant, food, but then on the other half is all business and mindset stuff. So, as a business, are you going to charge for to use the app, or are you going to get paid through restaurants promoting on the app, or how is that going to work on a business level?
Yeah, great question. This is the part that I actually like talking about the most.
Awesome.
So one of the core things about the platform, right? I used the word trusted, right? We
Hmm.
wanted to connect users to the most trusted dining experiences, right? Because we believe the word best is in the eye of the beholder, right?
Hmm.
And in order to make sure that we kept that trusted relationship between the consumer and the dining experience, we were never going to take pay to play from the restaurants, right? So we actually don't charge the restaurants. We actually don't charge the consumers either. We monetize off of the transaction. So meaning
Oh.
Deuce, this restaurant, right? We're a fintech platform, so you can actually pay for your meal through the application, and then we just take a percentage of that. So it's like a commission, right? So that's actually how we monetize, and it's how we keep a trusted relationship between the user and the restaurant. We do work with brands as well, especially like spirit companies and other food brands as well, because one of the things that they're really excited about this is the hyper targeted marketing and product placement that they'll be able to do with our platform. So here's a perfect
Sweet.
example. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so here's a perfect example, right? Ken's going to one of Deuce's restaurants, right? And one of Deuce's restaurants serves Diageo spirits, right? So Kettle One, for
Hmm.
example. E knows that Ken loves a Manhattan, or not a Manhattan, a martini, right?
Hmm.
Ken has a reservation at 7 p.m. Well, E's going to say, hey, by the way, when you go to Deuce's restaurant tonight, make sure you order the Manhattan with ketchup, right?
Hmm.
For your reservation. They serve it there, for you. So Diageo Spirits is putting their product in front of the ideal consumer at the place where they're going to sell that spirit later.
That's super interesting to me. That's something that Gary Vee always talks about is like once like audio and AI totally take over, you're going to say, I need an attorney here and this is my problem. And it's going to like recommend the exact person that can help you the most. I mean, seems like right on target with what he's saying about, only in the restaurant space. That's really interesting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Talk to me a little bit about Windy City Smokeout. How are you guys involved there? That's a super cool event. I mean, obviously it's barbecue based, so I'm into it and country music and everything. Matt was telling me a little bit that you guys are going to be a sponsor there. How did that come to be?
Yeah, it was a big part of our, go back to the business, right? So it's a big part of our go-to-market strategy is it's actually an old Nike philosophy called the one-to-one-to-many concept. So meaning you partner with somebody who's got an existing community, you add value to that partner, and now those community becomes a part of your community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in our case, as a consumer app, right, instead of trying to get individual downloads, right, let's go and be a value add to somebody who's got an existing community. In this case, Windy City Smokeout, one of the largest country music and food festivals in Chicago. We teamed up with them. So as a food and technology partner of the show, we're actually hosting a VIP dining experience behind the main stage, which is really cool. So 30 lucky contestants and foodie users will have this premium VIP dining experience behind the main stage on opening day, and they'll also be able to enjoy the festival and the concert for the rest of the night. So we got teamed up. Very fortunate that Kevin Conroy Smith, the founder of Windy City Smokeout, is a longtime friend of myself and Foodie. And just like most entrepreneurs do, you need people who can give you a break every once in a while, and he certainly gave us a break. So really excited about the opportunity.
That's really cool. Now, I was reading on the website, the other two founders had a big connection with Nike and specifically the Jordan brand. That's near and dear to my heart. I, grew up in the 90s when the Bulls were winning championships like crazy. I went to Michael Jordan basketball camp twice when I was in 6th and 7th grade, so I was like forever a huge Michael fan. And we see you got the nice Jordan collection in the back. How else has Nike kind of influenced your business decisions and goals and stuff like that?
It's pretty much at the core of our entire business. Seriously, very fortunate that Keith Hulamar, the former president of Jordan Brand, and then Ron Walden, longtime SVP of sales for Nike. I get to call them my co-founders, right? Because to be able to call those guys not just co-founders, but friends, mentors, big brothers, right? It makes this journey kind of fun. And then at the core of Foodie, right, we really take a lot of the philosophies of Nike, such as put the consumer experience first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll always, figure out a way to make money after that. That's what
Yeah.
we're doing with Foodie. The other thing I think is also important to call out that at least we keep in mind, besides the consumer experiences, we know that product excellency is important, brand is important, right? And then again, making sure that you're speaking to the actual consumer, right? You can't just out tech anybody anymore, right? Technology is everywhere, AI is taking over, right? So you really have to have a strong business philosophy. You have to have a strong brand, and you have to have a deep tech, solution, right, to separate yourself. You have to have all three. And ironically, that's what Nike would always practice and preach, back in the day as well. So to be able to take those learnings and put that into what we're building at Foodie has really helped us.
That's really cool. I know specifically for Sweet Baby Ray's, it was kind of like what you were talking about, the one-to-one to many is people, once they got a hold of Sweet Baby Ray's, they thought they had something special that nobody else had back in the early days, and they loved to share that with other people. And that's really how the brand grew so successfully is people love to share when they find something special. And I think it was a lot like Nike in the early days too, is like, yeah, you got to check this out. And I mean, it's just amazing. The whole Nike story and is amazing by itself. But one thing about your brand I thought was really special was the name. Everybody is saying I'm a foodie, foodie this, foodie that. So I think you guys nailed it on the name. I think that's going to help you guys a lot.
Yeah, no, thank you. Ron Walden, who's actually the original founder of Foodie, and I, joined on with him and Keith afterwards when he said, like, hey, I've got this concept where I want to connect people to trusted dining experiences, and the app's called Foodie. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Did you get that name? He's like, got it trademarked and everything. I was like, all right, perfect. If anything else, at least the name has value.
The name is right. Yeah, for sure.
So I was like,
Now,
perfect.
what would you say your target market is? Is it millennials? Is it younger, older? Do you have like a specific age range or market that you're looking at?
Yeah, this is a great question strictly because it's something that we go back to every single day, right? And I think
Hmm.
as business owners, you should always go back to who's your ideal, target audience. One of the things that is a blessing and a curse for Foodie is that foodie was made for everybody, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody eats. That's our like internal saying that we say to each other, right? So whether you're a Michelin star restaurant or whether you're a fast foodie, as we call it, where you love, fast food and you want to
Mm-hmm.
rank the best fast foods wherever you are in every city, you can utilize the foodie platform for you. But as far as how we go to market, right? Like I said, we target these festivals, we target kind of these higher end experiences, so on and so forth. So I would say that it's definitely intended through our marketing to go after kind of the higher end millennial, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, who has kind of grew up on technology.
Mm-hmm.
But our ultimate goal is to be the platform that everybody can use that takes the friction out of the dining journey, right? It has a little bit of social media elements, it has a lot of bit of sourcing and ranking your restaurants and connecting you that way. But at the end of the day, if you just wanted to use E, you could just use E as a user and get the full potential out of the platform.
That's really cool. What are some of the benefits of using AI on the platform? How do you feel like that really helps as it's different than an app like, I don't know, Uber Eats or one of those other apps?
Yeah, it was a game changer for us because, like I said, it started off with wanting to show users, right, where their friends and their network went to go to eat, right? Because again, people trust people. So that's how we were going
Hmm.
to connect people to trusted dining experiences. Well, when you think about that and you think about traditional apps and technology just in general, you have to have a network effect, right?
Mm.
That's only valuable if there's a bunch of users on the platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with generative AI, and you said you use it all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It learns instantly from you as the user, right? And so from day one, it can provide value to you based off of your dietary restrictions, preferences, interests, likes, what you don't like, so on and so forth. And so that's how it kind of instantly provided value to us. Another thing that was also very important to us, and I think you as a restaurateur and owner would appreciate this piece, was we didn't want to create a platform where it could inspire negativity. We saw how many people love to go to the Yelps of the world and leave
Yeah.
negative comments and all that kind of stuff. And we're like, we don't want to be a review site. We want to be a platform that just connects people to trusted dining experience, right? You never go up to somebody and say, "Hey, tell me the place you hate the most when you go and visit this place," right? It's like you don't need to see that, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the kind of adverse effects of leveraging AI was now when somebody doesn't like a place, they actually can just tell E, right? So they kind of get their negative review off of their chest by just telling their personal concierge.
That's super smart.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah, I was listening to some podcast and they were talking about Yelp, and they said you should never trust the 5 stars or the 1 stars. You can only go by the ones in the middle because people that are just raving about it could be, the guy's cousin or whatever, and then people that are dogging it super low. It's like you don't want to listen to those people. They're just out to hate to hate. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's really interesting. Now, how are all the restaurants going to get on your app? Like, how does that process work?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually leverage APIs. So we're tapping into Google Places API. We tap into the POS systems because we integrate with the POS systems. So basically, like if restaurants use those platforms and are on those platforms, they're on our website, which is
Mm-hmm.
great. We are releasing our premium business model, which is actually where we will sign up restaurants. But that doesn't happen until Q4 of this year. So, but for right now, restaurants don't need to do anything. Their profiles are just automatically created if they're on, the internet, essentially, right? Which makes it really easy for them. But for our premium business model, that's where we actually will sign up restaurants kind of one by one and putting them on the platform.
You mentioned it a little bit, but how does the community part of the app work? Like the little social media interactive part from other people on the app. How does that part really work?
Yes. If you're familiar with Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
We say we want to do to the dining and food experience what Spotify did to listening to music for consumers. So you can easily see your friend's favorite playlist. We have a term called plate list that's actually we trademarked as well. So you can go ahead and create your plate list. So like I could go on and create Duce's, barbecue spots plate list.
Oh, that's cool. Like people want to listen to Rogan's playlist or something, they could see, yeah, Deuce's barbecue playlist. That's really cool.
Yep, and I can share that with friends. They can make it their own. They can add it to their self. I can make it private if I wanted to. So that's one of those social elements. And then another feature that we're going to be releasing later this year is actually communities. So just like Reddit and all of those kind of discords, those type of platforms, you can go on and create a community, right? So again, you can create Deuce's barbecue community, right? And it's all these barbecue lovers that kind of that are in your network, and you guys can just be chatting about your favorite places to go to eat and all types of different inspiration.
That is really cool. Man, it sounds like you guys covered a lot of ground. And it's exciting because you really thought it through, but you're only going to get better as you get more data from the people, and as it rolls out, you'll be able to adjust and make things better even. So that's exciting.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. What about, you were a two-time founder, so you've been in the business space for a number of years now. How have you been able to manage like your personal health goals and being an entrepreneur? Are you all business and let everything else, I'll worry about sleeping later when I'm older, or are you kind of mindful of how you balance things out?
So truthfully, still getting better at it, but definitely a lot better than what I was before, right?
Yeah.
It actually, led to a lot of things like burnout. It led to a lot of things that you kind of take for granted, right, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, because you think that you have to control everything. It's why I'm very fortunate for this opportunity with Foodie because of the co-founders that I have, right? They've helped me put a lot of things in perspective that I don't have to do it kind of all on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working now with a business coach, and that business coach is saying like, "Hey, sleep is important," um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a lot of that kind of reflection. It's a lot of perspective has broadened, if you will, because I
Mm-hmm.
definitely was that, go, 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 never complain, just figure it out, type of person. I still have a little bit of that makeup, but it's definitely a lot better because of, I would say the team and the different journey that we're on now with Foodie.
You're really lucky to have those two co-founders. They've got to have so much experience, and they've got some age and wisdom behind them and stuff like that. I look towards my uncle a lot, and there's other people in the hospitality industry that I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have some people guiding me along the way. And it's very helpful to have that type of knowledge at your fingertips, if you will.
Absolutely.
Um, what are you local in Chicago?
Local in Chicago, yep.
Do you
So
grow up here?
grew up here, grew up on the south side of Chicago, then moved to Oak Park, and then made my way out to Naperville. Um,
Okay.
didn't venture too far from Naperville, moved to Minneapolis for 2 years. I wanted to be a sports agent and went to go work for an agency up there. And then quickly realized that I didn't want to be a sports agent. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that's how I got into tech. And then moved just back here to the burbs of Chicago, and our foodie office is going to be in the Fulton Market area.
Okay.
Pretty excited and proud to be building this tech startup here in Chicago.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Did you go to school after high school?
Yeah. Went to Augustana College,
Okay.
small little liberal arts school out there in Rock Island, the Quad Cities. Very thankful for that opportunity. Played football there, which was a lot of fun, and yeah, and after college went to Minneapolis. That's when I went to Minneapolis, kind of right away, and then ended up coming back.
Nice. Awesome. What else do you want the people to know about Foodie? How can they find you guys? How can they sign up? When's the app dropping? All that stuff.
Yeah, thank you. So, like I said, we'll be live in the App Store. Knock on wood here. Big Apple and Big Tech play nicely. We'll be in the App Store in 6 days, which is really exciting. Make sure you type in Foodie Experience, Foode Experience. We believe that Foodie is the platform and foodies are the users, which is why it's spelled that way. And then, please be on the lookout for a lot of our kind of announcements and activations. We do a whole bunch of dining experiences that are really, really unique because that's what we try to do and connect people to. So, for example, we're teaming up actually with MC Light, the very famous MC. She's putting out a new album right now, and she's going for her first Grammy, which is pretty cool. And so we're putting together like a Tiny Desk meets Tastemakers series. So a very intimate dinner. She'll perform a bunch of her music, and we'll have various chefs coming in and cooking for the experience, which will be exciting.
Awesome.
So doing stuff like that all the time. It'll be available within the app, but definitely pay attention to our social medias where we announce a lot of these.
We'll talk offline. We got to create the best barbecue experience possible.
Let's do it.
That sounds awesome. Okay, cool. Well, this was a really great conversation. I really learned a lot about the app. I'm excited to check it out myself.
Thank you.
I got a couple lightning round questions for you before we go. So I just have a list of 10 things. You just give me your quick response, and this is a fun way to wrap things up.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Favorite barbecue restaurant?
Gates Barbecue in Kansas City.
Guilty food pleasure?
Anything that is Chinese food, especially like hole in the wall Chinese food restaurant.
Yeah.
Love it. It's guilty pleasure.
Love it. Cybertruck or Rivian?
You got to go with the Cybertruck.
One thing every entrepreneur needs?
Ooh, perseverance.
Good answer. Best AI tool?
Foodie.
I tried to tee that one up. Favorite personal development hack?
Get yourself a good life partner.
Nice. I know the answer to this one already, but Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan. No hesitation.
Yeah. Best meal you've ever had?
Best meal I ever had was in Amsterdam at a place called Sin Restaurant, Sinne restaurant. And what was pretty cool was during my time over there, I actually asked E, and I put in everything that I was kind of looking for, and I got it back, and it was an unbelievable experience.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, most impactful book or podcast on personal development?
Ooh, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. It's behind me right there. It was just a great one to hear kind of about the journey. Again, so many people, and I know you can relate to this, right? So many people see the either the highlights on social media or they see all the accolades and everything that happens kind of after the journey. But when you really get to learn about, people's beginnings, if you will, and how hard things actually were. It is really inspiring when you can follow along like that. So
There's no such thing as an overnight success.
no, even I think Bezos said it right. He's like every overnight success is 10 years, right? Or something.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, you could take one person to dinner. Dream dinner guest, celebrity or historical figure. Who would that be?
Pat Riley.
Nice.
Yeah, I was, we talked about 90s basketball and all that kind of stuff. And weirdly enough, I'm a huge Miami Heat fan, always have been. My parents still tease me about it. I was, a little kid, and I would dress in like suits like Pat Riley because I saw him on the New York Knicks when they play the Bulls and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I want to be like that guy, right? So
I think there's a movie coming out about him or something. Yeah.
So I saw that on social media or something like that. There's some like highlight about it. So
yeah, that's interesting. They was talking specifically about his suits. It was like hard to dial in because he didn't wear them like everybody else. He had a specific look.
Yeah, exactly. So
nice.
That's who I would
Clay,
take.
it was really nice talking to you, man. This is cool. We should hook up sometime, eat some food, and I'd love to hear more about Foodie as it rolls out and how you guys are doing.
Yeah, let's do it, man. It'll be fun. There's only one thing that I ask is you have to do the grilling because I gotta try.
Most definitely. Sounds good. Thanks so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.